Okay, so let's create a new geometry container. Let's call this advection volumes. We'll be creating a few of these. See, go to green, and then dive inside, and let's create an object merge. So what's the first step? The first step is for us to get the robot again. Get robot. And the reason for that is because we want to make sure we first set up a bounding box, a bounding area. That will be the container that will hold our advection volumes. Of course, let's go here to the render and grab this. Because our object is animated and it's moving in space, for us to calculate efficiently the size and the position of our volume container, the best way to do that is by grabbing a time shift, and we're going to be grabbing the first frame and the last frame. I'm going to type $f end, and here we can also type, why not, $f start. In case we change, I don't think we'll be changing the extension of this, but in case we do, select both of them, click, alt click, and now we have our merge, and now we have both positions. If we apply a bound to this now, we will have a container that holds all of these, and now we can just scale them. We can expand them on some directions. So I'm gonna add 1 meter here. I don't need it to go underground, and then 1 meter there, 1 meter here, 1 meter here, and another meter here. We can have a look at everything inside if we just do something like this. So I just turn off on wireframe and we can have a look. I think we have enough room here. We may need to have it a bit bigger, but I don't think so. Let's start with this and we'll see if we need to expand it a bit more. It should be okay though. So turn this off. Let's create a null. This will be out val vol bounds. Okay, this is our starting point for the first advection volume. Now let's create a volume. We need to definitely create a volume. And once we create a volume, let's give it a name. Make sure it's a vector because it's a velocity volume. It's called val. Let's set its resolution to be based on size, and let's keep the size at 0.05. Maybe it's a bit too big. Let's check it out. No, it's not too big. Once that's done, let's do a volume velocity. And this volume velocity is very handy. We can just add some curl noise to this. And now we have some velocities going on. Now let's create a visualizer for this. I already have one, but I'm going to teach you how you can show you how you can do your own. So volume slice. This pretty much just slices the volume, okay, in any direction that you want. So you have XY plane, you can change planes, you can offset the plane, and all that. Then we'll do volume trail, where we're going to be grabbing these points and trail them based on the velocities coming from that one. Okay, we don't even need to specify anything. We would have to go here. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. So this allows us to see the volume, and often we're going to be using this. So it's pretty handy for us to actually have this as a digital asset, a tool that we can use and reuse and easily recreate without having to drag all of this over and over. So the way I'm going to do that is you select everything, press Shift C. This all goes into a subnetwork, and then you right click and create digital asset. I'm going to create a digital asset. Choose the operator name, volume velocity visualize. I'll save it into this, not this. I'll save it in the project actually. So let's create a new folder here called OTLs accept, and this name is fine, accept. If you want to use versioning, you would do this 1.0 or whatever. I tend to use 0.0.1, and this is for the first iterations, development versions, and then when the asset is more robust and tested, I will then promote this to version 1.0.0, and so on and so forth. So something like that. In this case, I'm just going to be using this, accept. Now we have it. Maximum outputs, we don't need any outputs. Parameters, we need all the parameters from the elements inside, pretty much. So what we need, let's have a look at the elements inside and determine what might be useful for. Regarding the volume slice, what elements might we need? So we'll need the plane and the offset. That's pretty much it. So let's go to the volume slice, select plane and offset. I don't think we'll need anything else. Let's create, not a bad idea to create a folder for this. So let's go by type, folder, and let's call this slice. Oops, typo, slice, slice, and let's put these two inside. This will be a simple one. And then let's go back inside to the trail. On the trail, we have more options that might be useful. I don't use all that many, but velocity volumes, definitely one of them. Advection by distance, then some trail length, and I think that's it. I'm not gonna change anything else. You can add later, you can add more things, but I think this is the most common parameters that you may want to adjust. To be honest, I don't usually touch these, but just in case, let's make them available. Create a new folder. This is going to be the trails. Trails. It's going to be a simple one, and let's put these inside as well. Accept. Now we have all we need, and if we save no type, we can actually delete this now. You should go to digital assets and you should have volume velocity visualize. Okay, there you have it. You can connect it and boom, you're looking at your volume velocity. Pretty cool. You can offset it, change planes, all that, same as before, but in your own very special tool, very practical at least. And you can change trail length and all that. So yeah, really useful. You may want to change the color of it. You may want to change the shape. Maybe a cloud would make sense, something like that. But definitely very useful to have. I already have my own, so I'm actually going to be deleting that one. So let's see. Just to show you, I have here on CG Monkey King, I already have visualize velocity volume, and it's pretty much the same thing. Okay. Pretty much the same thing. I just exposed more parameters, but I'm not really not going to use those. And that's it. So we've created our tool, very useful, and we created our first. Let me keep that tool actually. So let's go CGMK. Okay, we have our first volume, advection volume, and we have our visualizer.